And how does this impact your view of your great-great-grandfather's theories? Are you in dissonance with them, or are you able to somehow work in concert with them? Does intelligent design run counter to your great-great-grandfather's thoughts?
I don't know how I see them in his view. I know how I see them, and that is, I know the Creator.
Right.
And I see no disparity between evolution and creation. I don't see in the Word that God says how he did it.
No.
He just did it.
Yeah.
And if he chose to go the way of evolution, it's not a big problem to me.
Yeah.
Because to me the story in Genesis is more about the development of a relationship with him. It's how we move from darkness to light. In fact, to me, the sevenfold patterns of the Bible, the sevenfold patterns of creation, of the feasts of Israel, of the tabernacle furniture, the sevenfold patterns of the last words of Jesus on the cross, the sevenfold patterns of the steps of overcoming and the seven churches in Revelation, all speak of the same thing, which is how we move from a place of darkness in our lives to a place of relationship and rest in God. And I see that more powerfully because, to me, God is a spirit. That's what he said in John to the Samaritan woman. And they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. It's a spirit word, his Bible. It's a spirit word to a spirit from a spirit. And we have to understand that. If we try and make it too physical, it loses its potency.
You know, when you say this, you reminded me a bit of Francis Collins in The Language of God. Have you read his book?
I regret I haven't.
Well, you know what? I'm just reading it now, and it's taken me a while to discover it. But he, as you know, headed up the Human Genome Project, one of the most respected scientists in the world. And he's essentially saying the same thing you're saying. He's saying, look, to take the mechanics of science and attempt that way to discover something that essentially is appropriated by faith spiritually is just an impossibility.
Yep.
It's kind of like trying to learn how to drive a car by applying the science of ice making or something.
That's
It's,
right.
it's just two different things.
Absolutely. No, I'm quite sure that there is that which science understands and can be proven physically through science, and there is that which science can't understand, and that's faith, that's intuition, that's where did it all come from? And maybe science will take it down to the last billionth of a second before the Big Bang, or as the Big Bang happened. So it doesn't. I still have that relationship with God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's still there in my life, and I can't deny that. I can't take that away. I think that by making this hit between creation and evolution so seriously intense, we're taking away the faith of millions. We are making it impossible for people to say, I can have science and I can have faith.
Now, as you know, there's quite a divide between groups of Christian scientists. There are some who believe in the young Earth theory, others in the old Earth theory, and they get very angry with one another.
Yes,
I've interviewed both sides. What you're saying is, lighten up, boys. There's more mystery than science here, right?
Absolutely. I see no problem with billions of years old in the earth. If you read a classical Bible, the Dake's Bible, and you read his notes, he talks about a billion-year-old earth. And he still has the 6 days of creation in there, 6 24-hour periods of literal creation. I see no disparity. I see the need for us to embrace each other's views. If we do not, we are going to be much the poorer as a human race.
We've just got about 3 minutes left. Tell me about Sir James Barlow today. You're a Canadian, you're living in Abbotsford, British Columbia,
Yes.
and You're highly regarded. You've had a lot of leadership roles there with the both the provincial and I think, is it the Federal Chamber of Commerce?
No, the provincial and the local Chamber of Commerce.
Provincial
at
and
this
local,
point.
right.
Yeah.
But tell me about your life in British Columbia.
Well, I love it. It's a beautiful place to live,
Yeah.
except that the sun doesn't shine that much. But
I know all about that. I lived in Vancouver for a few years.
Yeah. But I'm passionately part of my own church there. I love my wife, and I have a wonderful family life there, and love teaching. I love the teaching aspect of the Bible. I love teaching about the tabernacle and areas like that. The significant points that come out in a spiritual relationship there.
You're going to have to take a look at this tabernacle.
I'm going to.
Replica
I assure you.
in
Yes,
the back behind the Crossroads
So
Center.
excited to do that.
Really, it's quite the thing. In terms of your family, do you have children?
No.
No children.
Unfortunately not.
No. Yeah. So there's not going to be any further great grandsons of Darwin from your side, at least.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
No?
You never know. Yeah.
You're still young.
God has still promised, you know. Yeah.
Final question: in terms of your relationship with the UK, you've become a Canadian. Do you have any ties back to Britain?
Yes, I do. All my natural family is still there.
Right.
Go back as often as I can, which is never enough.
Right.
But and I still love England. It's a beautiful country.
Oh yeah.
It's got a lot to offer.
It really does, and part of that offering is you to us here in Canada. Thanks for coming our way.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely fascinating with Sir James Barlow, the great grandson of Charles Darwin. We'll be back with more right after this.